You're chopping onions and the knife slips. You reach into the drawer and grab a band-aid. You wrap your finger. 30 seconds later, you've already forgotten about it. But here's something you probably don't know. That little band-aid in your drawer exists because one man was worried about his wife. And he's not the only one. Some of the most normal things in your home were made for one specific person. A wife, a son, a daughter, a mother. The rest of us just got lucky. Let's look at 6 of them. In 1920, a man named Earl Dixon worked at a company called Johnson & Johnson. He had just gotten married to a woman named Josephine. And Josephine kept hurting herself in the kitchen. Small cuts, small burns, over and over. Back then, there were no easy bandages. You had to cut a piece of soft cloth, place it on the cut, then wrap sticky tape around it. That's really hard to do with one hand while your finger is bleeding. So Earl came up with an idea for her. He put small pieces of soft cloth on a long strip of sticky tape. Then he covered it with a thin fabric so it wouldn't stick to itself. Now Josephine could cover her own cut in seconds. Earl told the people at work about it. His boss loved the idea and started making them. The first band-aids came out in 1921. They were much bigger than the ones today. And at first, no one bought them. But a few years later, the company built a machine that cut them into small strips. They also gave them for free to kids in the Boy Scouts. After that, sales took off. Earl Dixon later became one of the top bosses at Johnson & Johnson, all because his wife kept cutting herself while cooking. Yes, Jacuzzi is a family name. The Jacuzzi brothers came to America from Italy. They lived in California and they built machines. First airplane parts and then water pumps for farms. In 1943, one of the brothers, Candido, found out something sad. His little son Kenneth had a painful illness in his joints. The boy was in pain almost every day. One thing that helped him was warm water with strong bubbles at the hospital. But the family could only go to the hospital sometimes. The pain was every day. So Candido had an idea. His family already built water pumps for farms. Why not put one in a bathtub? He made a small pump that could go inside a normal tub. Now Kenneth could get his warm bubble bath at home any day he needed it. A few years later, the family started selling it. Then in the late 1960s, a younger member of the family put the bubble jets right inside the tub. That's how the modern hot tub was born. Today, when people hear the word jacuzzi, they think of fancy hotels and vacations. But it started with a father trying to help his son feel better. In 1927, a woman named Dorothy Gerber was in her kitchen. She was making food for her baby daughter, Sally. Back then, feeding a baby was a lot of work. You had to cook the vegetables. Then you had to push them through a small net over and over until they became soft mush. Every meal, every day. One evening, Dorothy was tired of it. She told her husband Daniel something important. His family owned a food factory. That factory already had big machines that mashed fruits and vegetables all day long. So why was she doing it by hand? Daniel got the hint. In 1928, the family factory started making baby food in little jars. Peas, carrots, prunes, spinach. It turned out lots of other moms were tired too. Baby food sold so well that the family stopped making other foods. They changed the whole company's name to Gerber. And that famous baby face on the label? It's been there since 1928. It's a drawing of a real baby named Ann Turner Cook. After World War II, a mom named Marion Donovan had the same problem as many parents. Her baby soaked cloth diapers. The diapers leaked, the sheets got wet, and everything had to be washed. Rubber pants existed, but they trapped moisture and hurt the baby's skin. So Marion decided to do something about it. She grabbed her shower curtain and cut it up. She used the plastic to make a diaper cover. Instead of sharp safety pins, she used snaps. Later, she used soft parachute fabric, which was even better. She called it the boater. When it went on sale in a fancy store in 1949, it sold out fast. She later sold the rights to her idea for $1 million. Then Marion had an even bigger idea. A diaper you could throw away after using it. She showed it to many companies, but every one of them said it was a silly idea. It took about 10 years before another big company finally made throwaway diapers. Today we call them Pampers. And every parent since has said thank you. In the early 1950s, a woman named Ruth Handler watched her daughter Barbara play with paper dolls. And she noticed something. Barbara and her friends weren't pretending the dolls were babies. They were pretending the dolls had adult jobs, adult lives. They were pretending to be grown-ups. But at the time, Almost every doll sold in America was a baby doll. Ruth and her husband owned a toy company called Mattel. So Ruth had an idea. What if they made a doll with an adult body? The men on her design team told her no. They said no mom would ever buy a doll like that. Then Ruth went on a trip to Switzerland. In a shop window, she saw a doll for adults from Germany. She bought a few and brought them home as inspiration. In 1959, the new doll went on sale. Ruth named it Barbie after her daughter. In the first year alone, more than 300,000 were sold. Later, the company made a boy doll to go with Barbie. They named him Ken after Ruth's son. Most people know Alexander Graham Bell as the man who made the telephone. But that's not how he saw himself. His whole life, he called himself a teacher of the deaf. His mother started losing her hearing when he was a boy, so he learned to talk close to her forehead. That way she could feel the little shakes of his voice. Later, one of his students was a young girl named Mabel. She had lost her hearing after being very sick as a child. Bell fell in love with Mabel and she became his wife. In the 1870s, Bell started trying to send sound over long wires. He wasn't trying to invent a phone at all. He was trying to help deaf people because of the two women he loved most. That work led to the very first telephone in 1876. But here's the sad part. His invention became the one thing his wife and his mother could never use. In the end, none of these started as a plan to make money. A man watched his wife hurt her hands. A father watched his son in pain. A mom got tired of mashing peas. Every one of these things was made for just one person. The billions of customers came later, almost by accident.